It's Lorna from Maritime UK, and I'm here with Andy this afternoon, who's going to talk to us about his career journey. Hi, Andy.
Hi, Lorna. You okay?
I'm good, thank you. So can you give us your full name and tell me your job title and who you work for, please?
Yeah, name's Andy King. I currently work for Expleo. I'm the Marine Business Unit Manager for the UK for them now.
Fantastic, thank you. So can I ask you, what drew you to Maritime in the first place?
Yeah, I was born late 60s in Birkenhead, so over the river from Liverpool, obviously the big infrastructure, minutes walk from the Camelhead shipyard. And everyone of us in the area had maritime connection to the family, whether it was working in the docks or seafaring, or in my case, it was shipbuilding. So the seeing ships have always had a fascination with me from as long as I can remember.
Just always there?
Always there, yeah, prominent, you know, from a little boy.
So you started as an apprentice. Was that straight from school?
Yeah, I'd actually stayed on sixth form. I wanted to be a naval architect from quite a young age. I'd stayed on at school to do what was then A-levels. And a local shipbuilder at the time, another local shipbuilder called Maritime Marine, wrote to the schools in the Whittle, asking for someone if was interested in an apprenticeship as a marine draftsman, but doing a BTEC and HTEC in marine engineering and naval architecture. So I thought, being able to study what I wanted to do for so long, well, I'm getting paid for it at the time, obviously, which is a little bonus. It was exactly what I wanted to do. So I thought I'd dip out of school and go that route rather than the university route.
Yeah, perfect. And what's been your career highlight, Andy?
My highlight's undoubtedly being part of the original team that regenerated the Camelhead shipyard back in the early 90s. Coming from Birkenhead and obviously so close to the yard, and family had worked there over the years, it meant an awful lot and still does, that we took on what was a neglected and in some parts derelict shipyard with no fully working dry docks at the time, and rebuilt it into what became one of the leading ship repair and conversion companies in Europe at the time. And since then, obviously, it's the latest incumbents of Camels have gone on now and started shipbuilding again, and recently launched the Sir David Attenborough, which I believe is a fantastic achievement in the time that it's been taken to resurrect the yard again.
Brilliant. And so you were part of history there then?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, there was a good team of us. Say early '91, 3 small companies based over in Liverpool at the time. Camelheads was shut down, and the developers were ready to move in and turn it into a leisure park with an indoor ski slope and a construction hall in the yard. So happy to move in and do something proper with it, so we saved it at the time. It was really good.
Perfect. So who's been the most important or the most influential person in your career journey?
On that basis, again, comes back to the Camelhead days. I have to say it was a guy called John Stafford. It was John who had the vision in the early days to take on the challenge of what he said was a lifelong ambition of his, which sort of in the late 80s, his idea was I want to reopen Camelheads and start building ships again, which if anyone knows the shipyard from the late 80s, it was run down, it was almost derelict in parts, and it seemed like an absolute crazy idea. But his own vision and grit and determination, literally, and he instilled a never say die attitude in a team of people that was brought through with him from those 3 small companies in Liverpool. And that's exactly what eventually happened. Within a couple of years, we'd opened the yard again. Dry docks are working, the dry docks are full, and then expanded into what became one of the biggest European ship repair and conversion yards at the time.
Yeah, fantastic. So, and the last question. So what advice would you give your 16-year-old self if you were able to?
From the experience over the years, I've told myself that the shipbuilding game and ship repair and conversion and similar industries are a bit like being on a boat in a rough sea. It'll be really tough, but it'll be even more enjoyable. There'll be many peaks and troughs, and when you're in a trough, you need to dig deep. When you reach the peak, it'll be a fantastic feeling. So I just told myself that if you strap myself in, you're set for one hell of a ride, and I wouldn't change one thing.
Oh, that's fantastic, and much more fun than a dry ski slope.
Definitely, yeah, a lot more enjoyable, and a lot more good for the local community as well. So
fantastic. Thank you very much. That's absolutely terrific.
Okay, Lauren, thanks.